Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Barbara Hershey is an acclaimed American actress whose career has spanned over 5 decades, marked by a rare combination of emotional depth, versatility, and quiet intensity. Born Barbara Lynn Herzstein on February 5, 1948, in Hollywood, California, she grew up in a middle-class Jewish family and began acting as a teenager in the 1960s. Hershey's early exposure to Hollywood culture would shape her sensitivity to both its glamour and its pitfalls, a dual awareness that would later infuse her work with remarkable authenticity. Early career and breakthrough. Barbara Hershey began her acting journey on television, gaining early recognition for her role in the series The Monroes, 1966-1967. Her natural screen presence and striking beauty soon caught the attention of filmmakers, leading to film roles in With Six You Get Eggroll, 1968, and Last Summer, 1969. The latter earning her significant critical attention. In these early years, she was often typecast as a free-spirited or rebellious young woman, reflecting the countercultural mood of the era. During the early 1970s, she took on riskier and more unconventional roles. Her performance in Boxcar Bertha, 1972, directed by Martin Scorsese, solidified her as a serious dramatic actress willing to challenge expectations. The film's blend of violence, sensuality, and social commentary aligned with Hershey's preference for complex, morally ambiguous stories. Artistic growth and acclaim. After a period of relative quiet in the mid-1970s, Hershey's career underwent a renaissance in the 1980s. Her performances in The Stuntman, 1980, and The Entity, 1982, demonstrated both psychological depth and fearless physicality. The Entity, in particular, was notable for her harrowing portrayal of a woman subjected to supernatural assault, a performance that remains one of the most emotionally raw of the decade. Her work with director Woody Allen in Hannah and Her Sisters, 1986, brought her further acclaim, as she deftly captured the vulnerability and inner conflict of Lee, one of the film's central figures. This role, along with her tender and heartbreaking turn in Beaches, 1988, opposite Bette Midler, made her a familiar and respected figure to mainstream audiences. Peak of recognition. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Hershey reached a peak of critical recognition. Her role in A World Apart, 1988, earned her the Best Actress award at the Cannes Film Festival. And her performance in Shy People, 1987, won her another Best Actress honor at Cannes, a rare double triumph that underscored her status as one of the finest actresses of her generation. She continued to deliver powerful performances in The Last Temptation of Christ, 1988, playing Mary Magdalene opposite Willem Dafoe's Jesus in another collaboration with Scorsese. The role was both sensual and spiritual, embodying Hershey's gift for portraying women torn between desire and transcendence. In 1990, she won an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe for her work in A Killing in a Small Town, further cementing her place in Hollywood history. Later work and legacy. As she matured, Hershey embraced character-driven roles in both film and television, including standout appearances in Portrait of a Lady, 1996, Lantana, 2001, and Black Swan, 2010. In Black Swan, directed by Darren Aronofsky, she portrayed the overbearing mother of Natalie Portman's character, giving a chilling and deeply empathetic performance that introduced her to a new generation of audiences. Hershey's later television work included Once Upon a Time, 2012 to 2018, where she portrayed the enigmatic Cora Mills, the Queen of Hearts, with regal menace and complexity. Her willingness to balance mainstream projects with independent dramas has kept her career vibrant and respected. Style, persona, and impact. Barbara Hershey's acting style is defined by emotional intelligence, a quiet magnetism, and a fearlessness in confronting difficult themes. She has often gravitated toward roles that explore the psychology of women facing repression, trauma, or moral conflict. Beyond her filmography, she became something of a cultural icon in the 1970s for her earthy, introspective persona, a woman unafraid to live unconventionally, both personally and professionally. Throughout her life, Hershey has maintained an aura of mystery and dignity. Never overtly seeking celebrity status, she has instead cultivated a reputation for artistry, integrity, and longevity. Her influence can be felt among generations of actresses who admire her courage, range, and quiet rebellion against Hollywood's superficial expectations. Personal life and relationships. Barbara Hershey's personal life has often mirrored the depth and complexity of her screen characters. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, she became known not only for her acting but also for her bohemian lifestyle, which contrasted sharply with the Hollywood mainstream. During the filming of Last Summer, 1969, she began a relationship with actor David Carradine, a partnership that lasted several years and drew media attention for its unconventional nature. The two lived together in a communal, countercultural setting and shared a son, Free Carradine, who later changed his name to Tom Carradine. Their relationship was marked by artistic exploration and turbulence. Reflecting the restless spirit of the era, both Hershey and Carradine were seen as symbols of a new Hollywood, young, rebellious, and spiritually curious. Hershey later spoke candidly about the challenges of maintaining personal stability while navigating fame and self-discovery in the public eye. After their separation in the mid-1970s, she focused on rebuilding her career and identity, deliberately stepping away from Hollywood for several years to pursue growth and clarity. In the 1980s, Hershey married artist Stephen Douglas, though the marriage ended in divorce. Later, she was romantically linked to actor Naveen Andrews, of Lost fame, in a relationship that lasted over a decade despite their significant age difference. Their partnership was notable for its mutual respect and discretion, qualities that reflected Hershey's mature and grounded approach to life after years in the spotlight. Philosophy and approach to acting. Barbara Hershey has long been known for her thoughtful, immersive approach to performance. She often emphasizes intuition, emotional truth, and personal connection over technique. In interviews, she has described acting as a spiritual process, one that requires vulnerability and self-awareness. This philosophy is reflected in her diverse body of work, from psychological thrillers to introspective dramas. Hershey's choice of roles consistently reveals a fascination with women who exist on the margins, mothers, lovers, and seekers who grapple with internal conflict and societal expectations. In The Entity, she conveyed raw fear and resilience. In Shy People, she embodied moral complexity. And in Black Swan, she explored the painful boundaries of maternal love and control. Her ability to humanize even the most haunted or morally ambiguous characters has made her one of cinema's quiet powerhouses. She has also spoken about the importance of authenticity in an industry often driven by image and conformity. Rather than chasing commercial success, Hershey has chosen roles that challenge her emotionally and philosophically. This integrity has earned her admiration among peers such as Jane Campion, Martin Scorsese, and Darren Aronofsky, all of whom have praised her depth and discipline. Later years and cultural legacy. In recent years, Barbara Hershey has continued to work selectively in film and television, maintaining her understated presence and artistic consistency. Her later performances, such as in The Manor, 2021, a supernatural horror film for Amazon, demonstrate that she still brings gravity and elegance to genre storytelling. She has also appeared in independent dramas and international projects, proving her enduring curiosity and range. Beyond her acting career, Hershey is respected for her resilience and ability to navigate Hollywood's evolving landscape without compromising her identity. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she has resisted the pressures of fame, cosmetic alteration, or reinvention for publicity. Instead, she has aged gracefully, embracing maturity as another stage for artistic expression. Her influence extends beyond her own generation. Many younger actresses, such as Naomi Watts, Jennifer Connelly, and Natalie Portman, have cited admiration for Hershey's emotional realism and willingness to portray flawed, human characters. Her work in The Last Temptation of Christ and Black Swan, in particular, remains a study in the intersection of sensuality, faith, and psychological fragility. Legacy of an enigmatic artist, Barbara Hershey occupies a unique place in American film history. She is neither a conventional movie star nor a detached arthouse figure. Rather, she bridges both worlds with intelligence, subtlety, and grace. Her performances often linger in the mind long after the credits roll, not because they are loud or showy, but because they reveal truth in small gestures and silences. She once described acting as an act of compassion, a means of entering another person's soul without judgment. That empathy, more than fame or awards, defines her legacy. Hershey's career stands as a testament to perseverance, sensitivity, and the power of emotional honesty in storytelling. Major film roles and career highlights. Barbara Hershey's career is defined by her remarkable versatility, moving effortlessly between independent cinema, major studio productions, and television dramas. Her work often defies easy categorization, revealing her commitment to characters that challenge both herself and her audience. Last summer, 1969, Hershey's early breakout performance came in Frank Perry's Last Summer, a bold and unsettling coming-of-age drama. Playing Sandy, a teenager whose innocence is shattered by the cruelty of her peers, Hershey displayed an emotional intelligence well beyond her years. The film's frank portrayal of adolescent sexuality and moral ambiguity was controversial, yet it established her as an actress capable of profound subtlety and emotional truth. Boxcar Bertha, 1972, directed by a young Martin Scorsese, Boxcar Bertha was a Depression-era crime film that gave Hershey her first real opportunity to headline a feature. As Bertha Thompson, she portrayed a rebellious outlaw with sensual vitality and political awareness. The role marked her as part of a new generation of anti-establishment performers, aligning her with the raw energy of the New Hollywood movement. The Stuntman, 1980, this cult classic, starring Peter O'Toole and Steve Railsback, revitalized Hershey's career after a quieter period. Her portrayal of Nina Franklin, a seductive and emotionally complex actress, balanced the film's surreal mix of illusion and reality. The role earned her critical praise for its intelligence and nuance, helping re-establish her as a formidable dramatic presence. The Entity, 1982, perhaps one of her most challenging performances, The Entity cast Hershey as Carla Moran, a woman haunted and assaulted by an invisible force. Based on a purported true story, the film demanded extraordinary emotional and physical commitment. Hershey's performance was widely acclaimed for its courage and realism, anchoring what could have been a sensational premise in genuine psychological terror. Hannah and Her Sisters, 1986, in Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters, Hershey portrayed Lee, the sensitive and searching younger sister caught in an affair with her brother-in-law, Michael Caine. The film's success, both critically and commercially, brought her back into mainstream visibility. Hershey infused Lee with quiet longing and self-doubt, earning praise for her understated and deeply human interpretation. Shy People, 1987, one of Hershey's most acclaimed performances came in Andrei Konchalovsky's Shy People, where she played a cosmopolitan journalist visiting her reclusive relatives in rural Louisiana. The film explores class, faith, and family divisions, and Hershey's portrayal of a woman confronting her own emptiness won her the Best Actress award at Cannes. It remains a touchstone of her career, often cited by critics as her finest work. A World Apart, 1988, in this politically charged drama set in apartheid-era South Africa, Hershey played Diana Roth, a journalist and activist inspired by real-life anti-apartheid writer Ruth First. Her sensitive, committed performance earned her a second consecutive Best Actress award at Cannes, a rare achievement that confirmed her stature as one of the world's most respected dramatic actresses. The Last Temptation of Christ, 1988, reuniting with Scorsese. Hershey portrayed Mary Magdalene in this controversial and spiritually profound film. Her performance was luminous and deeply empathetic, bringing sensuality and compassion to a character too often simplified by tradition. Hershey's interpretation helped humanize Magdalene, aligning perfectly with the film's exploration of faith and human struggle. Beaches, 1988, in Gary Marshall's beloved tearjerker, Hershey played Hilary Whitney, the refined, reserved counterpart to Bette Midler's flamboyant entertainer. Their friendship, spanning decades of love, jealousy, and reconciliation, anchored the film emotionally. Hershey's graceful, quiet performance gave the story its tragic depth, making Beaches one of her most enduringly popular works. A Killing in a Small Town, 1990, this television film, based on a true crime case, earned Hershey both an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe. Playing Candy Morrison, a Texas housewife accused of murder, she balanced fragility and inner violence with chilling precision. The performance stands as one of the strongest in the history of made-for-TV dramas. The Portrait of a Lady, 1996, in Jane Campion's adaptation of Henry James's novel, Hershey played Madame Serena Merle, a manipulative yet ultimately tragic figure. Her portrayal was both elegant and psychologically layered, earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. It was a masterclass in restraint, proving her ability to thrive within complex period dramas. Black Swan, 2010. In Darren Aronofsky's modern psychological masterpiece, Hershey returned to prominence as Erica Sayers, the suffocating mother of Natalie Portman's Nina. Her performance was haunting, a study in obsession and maternal control, and it contributed crucially to the film's disturbing emotional core. The role reaffirmed Hershey's enduring relevance in contemporary cinema. Awards and honors. Barbara Hershey's artistry has been recognized across the world. Her major honors include 2 times Best Actress awards, Cannes Film Festival, for Shy People, 1987, and A World Apart, 1988, Emmy Award, 1990, A Killing in a Small Town Golden Globe Award, 1991, A Killing in a Small Town Academy Award nomination, 1997, The Portrait of a Lady Los Angeles Film Critics Association Award, 1986, for Hannah and her sisters. She has also received numerous Lifetime Achievement honors from international festivals, recognizing her contribution to independent and global cinema. Legacy and influence. Barbara Hershey's influence lies in her quiet defiance of Hollywood convention. She never chased fame, nor did she fit the mold of the starlet or the celebrity. Instead, she pursued a path guided by instinct, emotion, and artistic integrity. Her career arc, from 1960s ingenue to Cannes laureate and modern character actress, mirrors the evolution of American cinema itself. Critics often compare her to performers like Gena Rowlands, Vanessa Redgrave and Juliette Binoche, actresses who prioritize emotional truth and moral inquiry over glamour. Hershey's gift lies in her ability to illuminate the hidden interiors of her characters, their fear, hope, sensuality, and pain, without ever resorting to artifice. Her work continues to inspire filmmakers and actors who value craft over celebrity. Even after decades in the industry, Barbara Hershey remains a beacon of authenticity, a rare artist who built a lasting legacy not on spectacle but on soul. Collaborations and creative partnerships. Over the course of her long and distinguished career, Barbara Hershey has worked with some of the most visionary directors and actors of her time. Her collaborations reflect both her eclectic taste and her ability to adapt to a wide variety of creative environments, from the personal intimacy of character-driven independent films to the disciplined precision of major studio productions. Collaboration with Martin Scorsese. Hershey's professional relationship with Martin Scorsese began in the early 1970s with Boxcar Bertha, 1972. The film, one of Scorsese's earliest features, became a launching point for both their careers. Hershey introduced Scorsese to The Last Temptation of Christ, Nikos Kazantzakis' controversial novel, which she had read and admired. Decades later, she would play Mary Magdalene in Scorsese's 1988 film adaptation, creating one of the most memorable portrayals of the character ever committed to screen. Their collaboration represents a mutual respect between artist and director, each unafraid to probe moral and spiritual boundaries. Work with Woody Allen in Hannah and Her Sisters, 1986. Hershey became part of Woody Allen's ensemble of neurotic, intellectual Manhattanites. Her performance as Lee balanced vulnerability with yearning, embodying the delicate emotional tone that defines Allen's best work. The film earned multiple Oscars, and while Hershey wasn't nominated, critics widely recognized her as its emotional anchor. She brought humanity to a role that might otherwise have been judged harshly, a hallmark of her artistry. With Andrei Konchalovsky. Russian director Andrei Konchalovsky's Shy People, 1987, remains one of Hershey's crowning achievements. Shot on location in the Louisiana Bayou, the film pushed Hershey to explore the clash between sophistication and primal instinct. Konchalovsky's demanding style drew out one of her most emotionally raw performances, and her Cannes win for Best Actress confirmed her place among the great dramatic talents of the 1980s. With Jane Campion in Jane Campion's The Portrait of a Lady, 1996, Hershey found a kindred spirit in another director deeply interested in the interior lives of women. As Madame Serena Merle, she delivered a performance of exquisite subtlety, an exploration of manipulation, regret, and moral decay beneath a polished social surface. Campion's sensitivity to women's psychology perfectly complemented Hershey's introspective acting style, resulting in one of her most refined and celebrated performances. With Darren Aronofsky. Hershey's collaboration with Darren Aronofsky on Black Swan, 2010, introduced her to a new generation of audiences. As Erica Sayers, the controlling mother of a ballet dancer driven to madness, she was both suffocating and deeply tragic. Aronofsky has described Hershey as fearless and absolutely committed, praising her instinctive grasp of psychological tension. Her work in Black Swan reminded critics that even decades into her career, Hershey could deliver performances as potent and daring as ever. Acting style and artistic philosophy. Barbara Hershey's acting style is often described as naturalistic yet deeply interior, a blend of emotional transparency and restraint. She possesses a remarkable ability to convey what her characters are feeling without overt gestures or dialogue, often using silence, gaze, and subtle movement to communicate volumes. Critics frequently highlight three key elements of her craft: emotional authenticity. Hershey never fakes emotion. Whether playing a woman in the throes of terror, the entity, or a restrained aristocrat, the portrait of a lady, her reactions feel spontaneous and grounded in real experience. Psychological complexity. Many of Hershey's characters are caught in inner conflict, between freedom and duty, love and guilt, faith and doubt. She is drawn to ambiguity and rarely portrays women who can be neatly categorized as good or bad. Quiet power. Hershey's performances often build gradually, drawing viewers into the character's emotional world until the smallest shift in tone, a tremble, a sigh, a moment of stillness, feels seismic. Her power lies not in theatrical display but in truthfulness. Hershey once said in an interview, "Acting, for me, is a form of meditation. You have to get out of your own way and let something deeper take over." This philosophy reflects her lifelong interest in spirituality and psychology, as well as her belief that great performances arise from empathy rather than ego. Themes in her work across her vast and varied career. Several recurring themes define Barbara Hershey's filmography. Female identity and liberation. From Boxcar Bertha to Shy People, Hershey has portrayed women struggling to define themselves within restrictive environments. Spiritual and moral ambiguity. Her roles in The Last Temptation of Christ and A World Apart reveal a fascination with characters confronting questions of faith, sin, and redemption. Motherhood and control. Films like Beaches and Black Swan explore the complex emotional terrain of maternal relationships, love intertwined with fear, sacrifice, and possessiveness. Inner trauma and survival. Whether dealing with psychological horror, the entity, or personal loss, Lantana, Hershey's characters endure emotional and spiritual tests that reveal their resilience. These recurring motifs give her career a remarkable cohesion, painting a portrait of an artist dedicated to exploring the full spectrum of human experience. Critical and scholarly perspective. Film scholars often place Hershey within the lineage of actresses who bridged the transition from the New Hollywood movement of the 1970s to the global art cinema of the 1980s and 1990s. Her career demonstrates how American performers could bring method-style intimacy into international and auteur-driven contexts. Critics such as Pauline Kael and Roger Ebert praised her for her unassuming brilliance, a phrase that captures both her humility and her command of emotional realism. Ebert once wrote that Hershey doesn't act so much as inhabit her roles, disappearing into them completely. In contemporary retrospectives, Hershey's work is often revisited as a case study in how Hollywood treated, and often undervalued, women of intelligence and complexity. Despite her consistent excellence, she never achieved the household name status of contemporaries like Meryl Streep or Jessica Lange. Yet among cinephiles and filmmakers, her reputation remains that of a true artist, a performer who elevated every project she touched. Enduring legacy today, Barbara Hershey stands as a symbol of integrity, grace, and creative endurance. She represents a generation of performers who prioritized substance over stardom, leaving behind a body of work defined by honesty, depth, and courage. Her legacy is one of quiet revolution, a lifelong refusal to be simplified, categorized, or silenced. Through roles that explored the limits of faith, desire, fear, and love, Hershey helped redefine what it means to be a woman in cinema, not an archetype or fantasy, but a full, complicated, living soul. Even now, in her 70s, she continues to choose roles that challenge her and resonate with truth. For audiences and artists alike, Barbara Hershey remains not just a
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.